Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. So the Philadelphia 76ers have been officially eliminated from the 2018 NBA playoffs as they lost in round 2, 4-1 to the Boston Celtics. Now, with that being said, I remember going into these playoffs, a lot of people thought that the 76ers were going to be that dark horse team to perhaps dethrone LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers and get to the NBA Finals. Now, I will say, at times during this round 2 series, the inexperience of the Philadelphia 76ers did show. They have so many young players on their team. They're extremely talented. It's just one of those things where they were not quite ready for that next step yet. They will get there. I think this team is fantastic and are going to be amazing in a dynasty for many years to come. So for this video, I'm going to give you guys 8 moves or steps this team needs to take this NBA offseason to continue to improve as players and an organization / franchise as whole. If you guys can do me a quick favor and drop a like on this video if you want me to cover some more NBA teams, that would be greatly appreciated. And as always, let me know your guys' thoughts and steps in the comment section below. Okay, number 1 I have, and this is not an overreaction. This is gonna come off wrong, man. But I'm gonna say, trade Markelle Fultz. I am not a believer that Markelle Fultz is a bust. I think Markelle Fultz will be an all-star point guard in the NBA. Now, with that being said, he does not fit into the mold of the process. He does not fit into it, man, because Ben Simmons, due to just his freakish athletic, abilities and being 6'10", being able to handle the basketball, he is the point guard of the team. Could Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons coexist on the court together? Yes, they could. But I don't think Markelle Fultz is an off-ball point guard. He's a guy that needs the ball in his hand. During this NBA season, he didn't even play that many games, but in one of those games, guys, he dropped a triple-double. Markelle Fultz is the real deal. Just not for this team. Just not for this team. I feel like they could trade him to a young team, or maybe even a team that wants to go into a rebuild and being able to get a really solid NBA player back, or maybe even some draft picks, something like that. There is going to be teams out there that will pay a hefty price for the services of Markelle Fultz, man. He's only, like 19 or 20 years of age, just got off his rookie season. Just not the right fit for the Philadelphia 76ers. Love him as a player. It just doesn't make sense to keep him on the team. Their play styles of Markelle Fultz and Simmons do not complement each other. So yeah, why not trade them and get the max value? Because I will say, every single NBA player that is ever drafted does have bust potential. It plain and simple can happen. So why not trade him while teams are still kind of wondering, like, yo man, this dude could be something special, right? Number 2, this team needs to sign a closer. And my ideal choice for this would be Paul George. It seemed like in that second round, there was times, where the 76ers did not really have the leader on the court. They did not really have that player that they could have absolutely gone to for a clutch basket. I know Ben Simmons at times was kind of chucking up bad shots, so was Joel Embiid. A lot of that comes down to just maturity and not really, just not really having that experience in the NBA playoffs of being able to be the guy that goes and gets them a basket. I love Joel Embiid. I love Ben Simmons. Both talented. They just need that veteran closer, and Paul George would fit that mold perfectly, man. He would put this team over the top. If they had Paul George, his veteran leadership, this team would be winning NBA Finals next NBA season, guys. Put him at the small forward position. Robert Covington, switch him to a bench role, or maybe potentially trade him. I know a lot of 76ers fans are not happy with Covington right now. He was definitely very, very streaky at times in these NBA playoffs. But yeah, Paul George, one of the best catch-and-shoot big forwards in the NBA, can make the 3-ball at around, 39-40% on the season, get you 2 steals out there, and just a guy you can give the basketball to and be like, yo, playoff P, go get me a basket. I love the idea of Paul George being signed by the Philadelphia 76ers, even more so than LeBron James. Straight up, I will say, I feel like he fits their style of offense a lot better. All right, next up we have Ben Simmons must strengthen up, guys. So many times he got to the basket and he just kind of got tossed around a little bit. I know he's 6'10", he's 200 something pounds out there. He just needs to put on about 10 or 15 extra pounds of muscle and he will be a tank just like LeBron James going to the basket. He cannot be afraid of contact. I know players don't want to get injured, especially a guy like Ben Simmons who has had injuries. I mean, you can say that about, Markelle Fultz or Joel Embiid. That's the issue with Derrick Rose now in the NBA, is that he's been injured so many times. He's almost afraid sometimes to go to the basket. But Ben Simmons, damn, dude, if he can get to that free throw line and just develop a 70% 3-point stroke or something like that, the man is going to be unstoppable. And that actually leads me to number 4. Ben Simmons must develop some sort of jump shot, guys. Something out there that will have defenses kind of second guessing at times, being like, okay, we can let this dude a little open, just not completely open. The fact that Ben Simmons attempted 0 threes on the season, that almost hurts you more than a guy that shoots, 25-30% from 3. Just because, teams just know to sag off. I'll be using Ben Simmons in 2K18 and people just will sit by the freaking basket and they will leave the 3-point line wide open for Ben Simmons. If he could shoot just 30%, that just has teams, just in the back of their mind saying, okay, this guy could potentially do it. Any player in the NBA, if they work hard enough and they want it to be part of their game, should be able to shoot 30% from 3, and that's not even good. I'm talking like if this dude could get 35, 37%, that'd be fantastic for his game. Just some sort of jump shot. He needs to work on it. I know people say it's not his strength. I understand that. It's not something he needs to go to all the time, but it's a tool he needs to be out to have in his pocket that a lot of other great NBA players do have. Even Giannis, the Greek freak on the Milwaukee Bucks. No, he's not the greatest three-point shooter, but it's something he's so capable of making at times, and every now and then one goes in. Ben Simmons needs to do the same. It will open up so much more on the basketball court for his teammates and also himself getting to the basket and as a point guard. All right, next up, Joel Embiid. He needs to commit to his three-point shot this NBA offseason. He really needs to get it back to where it was his rookie season. This NBA season, he only shot 30% from 3, guys. His rookie season, he shot about 39%. So he definitely is capable of making them out there, especially when you play on a team with Ben Simmons, who is not a great three-point shooter. The big guys need to be able to shoot. It's why Dario Saric and also Ersan Ilyasova are so valuable to the Philadelphia 76ers. I think Joel definitely can get it back there. He doesn't need to be shooting no 4 or 5 threes a game. Definitely does not need to be doing that. But, 1, 2, or 3 out there. If he make 1 or 2 a game, that would be fantastic for his game. I mean, yes, he's a great post-up player, can make the mid-range shots. But a three-point shot, that's the thing. It's like we know he can do it. He needs to continue doing that for this Philadelphia 76ers team. And I will say, this is something that just comes with age and maturity. But plain and simple, Joel Embiid does kind of need to mature up a bit, and I say that very loosely, man. I don't mean it as like an insult at all. It's just I want to see Joel Embiid become that player that I was saying for number 2, and that was time to closer. I want Joel Embiid to be that player that you can give the basketball to in clutch situations, and he knows exactly the right play to be made. I think he definitely has that out there. So I don't mean mature from like a personality standpoint, because I just feel like, he's just a funny dude. He's the same case with Shaquille O'Neal. He was just a funny dude when he was in the NBA. I feel like that's completely fine. I'm talking strictly from the late clutch moments in the NBA game. He needs to kind of like not panic and know what to do with the basketball when it's given to him. I feel like that was kind of lacking at times for this Philadelphia 76ers team. Okay, number 6 I have. Sign Derrick Favors. Now, Derrick Favors, I would see him as a 6-man role off the bench. He's 6'10". He's he's kind of one of those throwback power forwards. He has a respectable face-up game, decent passing big man out there, pretty good rebounder, and I really do feel like he could be a damn good defensive player in the NBA too. Just because you look at that 76ers bench, and yeah, they had like Ilyasova coming off the bench. He's not really going to be a guy that's going to bang down low or anything like that. You have Amir Johnson on the squad. I feel like he's fallen off quite a bit this NBA season. They just need that kind of like that power forward, not a finesse forward, a power forward to enter into the game at times and play alongside Joel Embiid. The fact that he can make the face-up shots, he even is working on his three-point game. I feel like that would be a great signing for the 76ers team and a great addition to their bench. Number 7, I have re-sign JJ Redick, guys. He made 17 points per game this NBA season and shot 42% from 3. He was absolutely fantastic. Now, would he be the starter next season? Well, that kind of remains to be seen. It depends if the team goes off and signs somebody like a like a Paul George or something along those lines. But with that being said, like Paul George put him at small forward, put JJ Redick as a starting shooting guard, Ben Simmons at point guard, then you got Saric and Embiid for your starting forward/center out there, and then a guy like Robert Covington would probably go back to the bench role, right? That's kind of what I'm seeing right there. I'm just saying, man, JJ Redick, yeah, you cannot give him the $23 million contract again. That's just too much money to pay for any one player just for one season, you know what I'm saying? But if he could kind of agree on a 3-year, $30 million contract or something along those lines, that's something you definitely want to consider. JJ Redick is a fantastic player, guys. And number 8, I want this team to sign some sort of vocal leader for the locker room. I'm not saying it needs to be a player that needs to play all the time. Just, it seems like all great championship teams, they have those really old veteran players that are just, keep the young bloods out there, playing the game of basketball correctly, keeping their minds in the right state of mind, after a tough loss and things like that. Or just, those guys that are the player coaches during timeouts. It's like, I don't really have a great example off the top of my head. I guess like Juwan Howard, I'm thinking back on the 2013 Miami Heat team. I'm thinking of Caron Butler. He did that later on in his career. Just somebody that, go on teams and stuff like that and just kind of coach off or on the bench during the games. You know what I'm saying, man? Does that make sense? I really don't know who would be great in this instance. I don't have anybody on the top of my head, but there's a ton of like veterans out there that would love to just come on the Philadelphia 76ers and, you know, play some limited minutes, but really help develop the young guys out there, the Ben Simmons of the world. And finally, this isn't really a step, but this is just something that I need to list, and that is continue to trust the process. The 76ers are great. The 76ers are not going anywhere anytime soon. These are just moves I think they can do to get even better. If this team did nothing this offseason and just kept their team intact, they would probably be right back to the second round or Eastern Conference Finals next NBA season. But there's definitely moves that can be made out there for this team to be more successful. Give me your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section below. And thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.